Ciao Juventini of the world, my name is Giuseppe, welcome back on the channel. If yesterday Juve-Roma was important, well today Juve-Roma is even more important. Of course we speak about Juve-Roma, but also about Genoa-Inter. If you didn't yet, please put a maximum of like on today's video. Don't forget to continue to subscribe to the channel, you are doing a fantastically job. I repeat it every single day, but it's really true, you are doing a fantastic job. So like, subscribe, share the channel with all your friends and family, because now we open the pages and luckily I am watching the games of football. Luckily, because if I didn't know, if I didn't watch, and if I just opened today Corriere dello Sport and watching at that big picture of Çalhanoğlu on the back of Arnautovic, well, I would have thought that this morning Juventus would have been at the moment at -7, with the only possibility winning against Roma to go back at -4. Mezza Stella, half star is the title of Corriere dello Sport, saying that Inter has half of the star. Which one? The one of the winter. And then they will have to complete it to put it the second star on their shirt, winning the 20th Scudetto. 20th. Way of saying. Anyway, it is what it is. But luckily, Gazzetta dello Sport today is showing me another picture, but also another title. L'Inter Stecca. Big fail, big flop of Inter yesterday that was not able to win against Genoa because the result was 1-1. After them scoring a goal, they were in the end of the first half being equalized by Dragujin, ex-Juventus. Now I want to stop a minute. I want to speak about something. Because a week or two ago, I believe it was on the 14th of December, I made a video with a big title, Inter is fearing Juventus. With a lot of people that told me, no, Beppe, what are you speaking about? Inter is fearing nobody. They are first in the ranking, totally deserved. They are much stronger as us. They have absolutely no fear about the Juve. It was before the game of Genoa, if I'm not wrong, before we did as well, 1-1 against the team of Gilardino. Well, I told you that they were fearing Juve. But I also told you that I was not the only one who was telling it, because Evra was also speaking in a double-page interview to the Sports saying, pay attention, because Inter, inside the locker rooms, they really are scared about Juve. Why? Because they feel that Juventus has that sense of revenge for everything that happened last year. They are there. They have that grinta. They have the will to compete again and try to go to the first spot on the ranking. That is actually a total different objective as the one that is publicly said by the management, by the coach Max Allegri. How did he know? Well, he said, yes, it's a player of Inter that told me, but I will not reveal you who it is. And actually a few days later, you had Luca Monblano, my great friend Luca Monblano, that was actually speaking about the inside, the backstage of Inter, saying that at the Inter headquarters, they go totally crazy. Every single time that Max Allegri is saying Inter is favorite, they have a team built to win the Scudetto, they go totally crazy. Because according to the management of Inter, it's not true. And the Livorno coach is wrong. And for this reason, they are very, very angry at the Juventus coach statement. They go crazy. According to Luca Monblano and other voices, every time that Max Allegri is going to press conferences and saying it's all on Inter, we are there, we are competing for top 4, well, they go crazy. They go totally crazy. Is it because of the pressure of winning that 20th Scudetto, of having that second star? I have no idea. Anyway, they never answered, the management of Inter, and looks like yesterday there was someone that was a bit the spokesperson of Inzaghi, the spokesperson of Marotta, that went in front of the microphone after the draw of yesterday against Genoa, and it is Acerbi, ex-Lazio, that went in front of the microphone and he said, well, I hear a lot of time that Inter is obliged to win the Serie A. But I want to remind everyone that Juventus, they bought Chiesa, Vlahovic, Bremer, spending 200 million euro. We were doing mercato on free transfer market. We already changed 3 goalkeepers in the meanwhile. This summer, we changed a lot of things with a lot of players. A lot of champions gone away. Well, if you are looking actually at the summer mercato, you're seeing that they bought Sommer, Audero, Pavard, Carlos Augusto, Bissek, Quadrado, Fratesi, Klaassen, Thuram, that is doing fantastically well, Arnautovic, Sanchez, Mercato of Juve 2023, Timothy Weah. You could even potentially even add Andrea Cambiaso, that was already our player. But I don't understand the words of Acerbi. First of all, why are you speaking about Juve after Genoa Inter, which Juve has absolutely nothing to see about? First of all, why? Why? I need to understand why. Secondly, going back with, yes, they bought Bremer, They bought Vlahovic, they bought even Federico Chiesa like 3 years ago. I don't understand. I really don't understand why Chiesa. It's like a bit like I would say, but Inter, they once spent so many money for Ronaldo, for Djorkaeff, for Recoba, and now they are obliged to win because it's in the history of Inter. It makes totally no sense. I think that it's a bit the words of Marotta, the words of Inzaghi, the words of the management of Inter that said we don't go to the front of the microphone, we are going totally crazy with Max Allegri. Someone needs to remind that they also spent a lot of money on players and that they are also there competing for the Scudetto. We want to take a bit of pressure out of us, especially after a draw against Genoa, because we are not obliged to win every single game 5-0. But I still don't understand why they are scared, because it's really strange. It's really strange to me that you are scared after you are watching the games of Inter. We said it since the first day of Serie A. Inter is stronger than Juventus. They have a better team. They are playing extremely well. They deserve to win every game that they are playing, and they are winning. When they don't do well, like yesterday against Genoa, well, they don't deserve to win. But I don't understand, because every single game you see that little help. Against Udinese, against Napoli, yesterday against Genoa, because they scored the first goal towards the end of the first half, where you see clearly Bisek that is pushing the player of Genoa with 2 hands, which is always a foul. Well, the referee is watching it, he's seeing it with his eyes, he's super well positioned, and he's saying it's okay. VAR doesn't intervene, they don't communicate with the referee, or at least they say it's not our responsibility, you decide where the referee is saying it is a goal. While 2-3 weeks ago, beginning of December, we saw Lazio against Verona, they scored the same goal, exactly. And then it was disallowed because VAR said, no, because you have the 2 hands of the player on the defender, so we have to disallow the goal. I don't understand it, but looks like in Genoa, the VAR is never working, and this is also the idea of Hans Nicolussi Caviglia that yesterday liked the tweet of Mirko Di Natale that said, looks like in Genoa VAR is never working, liked by Hans Nicolussi, because I go back to when we played 2 weeks ago against Genoa, when there was clearly 2 things. That handball of Banti, that was also said it should have been a penalty by the head designator of the referee, Rocchi, last week, he said it, so the VAR was not working, but also on that red card not given to Malinowski. Strange, really strange, it's never working there. Anyway, I still don't understand why Acerbi and Inter are scared about Juve, because yesterday they had all the time in the world. You know that yesterday they played for 108 minutes and 25 seconds in total, which becomes the second game in Serie A that is the most longest one ever. Second longest game ever played in Serie A. The most important thing that I forgot and I really want to say is pay attention. Because today, Juve Roma, we are speaking about Inter that is fearing Juve maybe. We don't have to be scared. Because Roma, we know it. They will work on your mental. Juve, they have a big opportunity to go again at -2. If you start again to collapse mentally, like we saw in the second half of Genoa, Juve, collapsing mentally because you can achieve something and you're scared to achieve it, then forget about it. Then forget about it, because then we will not win the game today. So we have to be mentally strong and not being scared. This is my message. Be strong and not scared. Let's say thank you to Dragujin, ex-Juve, and let's also say thank you to Alberto Gerardino that has never played to Juve or at Juve, but it's a big fan of Juventus. He always said it, also in Tuttosport a few years ago. When I was a kid, I was a big fan of Juventus. I went to the stadium to watch Vialli, etc., etc. We are there, With Inter, we are there. Because against Bologna, we drew, they drew. Against Sassuolo, we lost, they lost. Against Inter, well, and then against Juve, it was a draw, 1-1, do you remember? Genoa, we drew, they drew. Atalanta, they won, we drew. And that's the only difference at the moment. With 3 games that has to be played again to finish the first round, we have to play today against Roma. We have to play next week against Salernitana. They won both games, so hopefully we can do the same results, while we won at Verona, and let's see what Inter will do. But at the moment, the only huge big difference, and that's where if Juventus wins today against Roma, we will be there at -2, and that's a really big opportunity. It's a game of Atalanta, where Juventus, we know it, didn't play. According to me, even worse than Sassuolo. That was the worst game of the season. So today, Juve-Roma, we know it. What are the feelings? Who can possibly start? Well, according to Tuttosport, but also Gazzetta, etc., Chiesa is feeling ready to play. Can he play 90 minutes? I don't know. In press conference, there was the clear question, does Federico Chiesa has the 90 minutes in the legs, where Allegri didn't answer. He said Chiesa is feeling better, but not saying yes or no. So will he start the game? Looks like yes, according to Tuttosport, but Yildiz is there. Yildiz is there or to enter in second half, or, according to other sources, could even potentially start the game. Maybe with Dusan Vlahovic, who knows? Dusan Vlahovic, big duel. There is the opportunity for Juve to go at -2, but also to Dusan Vlahovic to show something today, especially playing against Lukaku. You know it, I don't care about individualism. I don't care if today Lukaku score a hat-trick and it's Gatti that is scoring 4 goals with 0 goals of Vlahovic, as long as we win, because I want to win today. But of course, it's really important also for Dusan Vlahovic. Imagine a beautiful win, 2-0 from Juventus today, or 3-1, whatever, with a few goals of Dusan and non-goal of maybe only 1 goal to Lukaku. I would be double happy, because I believe that Dusan Vlahovic needs it. Another one that will play against Lukaku, it's not only the duel Dusan against Romelu, but it's also Bremer. Bremer that just extended his contract. We saw it on the pictures on social media. Leao in his pocket, Osimhen in his pocket this season. Let's hope that he can also have Lukaku in his pocket, which will not be easy at all, because I remember I was there on the 1st of April 2023 in the Allianz Stadium in Coppa Italia semi-final, where he caused that penalty at the last minute on Lukaku that probably should have deserved to receive that red card instant before. Anyway, this is what it is, so Bremer will have to be really alert, because Lukaku is not an easy man-to-man mark. So what is the predicted lineup at the moment as we speak? Szczesny into the goal, Danilo again on the left with Bremer and Gatti. I know this is also a controversial topic at the moment, with people that want Rugani to play on the left and Danilo or on the right or on the bench. Kostic will play on the left. Yesterday in press conference he received a question about Kostic, if he was tired or if he was not in a good moment, where Allegri said Kostic is a really reliable player. I can trust him. He has not these big peaks where he's showing so much, but he's a player that every time that he's playing, I can trust him, and he's really extremely reliable. Ealing is a valid sub, so I believe that Kostic will play, also because if we watch the graphics of Juventus today, they are really pushing on Instagram, on Twitter, that first page, that cover with Kostic on the front page. So I believe that Kostic will start on the left side with Rabiot, Locatelli, and here they are saying Miretti in the midfield with McKennie on the right side. Is it because Weah is not giving a lot of trust at the moment, because he has no 90 minutes, because he's there considered to be a player that can change you the game a bit more offensively and not enough alert defensively? It could be, with Chiesa and Vlahovic there, so pay attention, because it will be another big test for Miretti today. Do I believe that Hans Nicolosi can play? Not sure, because he said, what about Weah? Or he can play on the right, or it will be Miretti as a midfielder with McKennie on the right. So I really believe that Locatelli will start today, which is a good news, because in the beginning of the week we were not sure about it. What do we have to pay attention for? Well, a few things. First of all, the set pieces, corner kicks and so on, where Roma, they have players that can really take them, but also players that can arrive there with a header, with a shot, whatever. We know we already conceded a goal like that against Roma, but they continue to do it. That's one of their strength points. Also Cristante, that not only is a strong defensive midfielder, but also a kind of regista, really fast and quick thinking about how to relaunch the game, because we know it's not a game, it's not a team, the team of Mourinho, that loves to play from the back with 100 passes and whatever, but it's a team that is really strong also in counter-attack and in opening really fast to have to change that transition in a positive transition. So pay attention to Cristante, don't give him too much space. Dybala, of course, and he will start today according to all the media. Dybala that is back after his injury. Do we have to explain who Dybala is? We know who Paulo Dybala is. And I believe that Mourinho said it really well. If Dybala had not all these physical injuries, probably he would not have played in this Roma, but would have been in another team. We know it. It's the most dangerous player in Serie A in terms of shots toward target. He's the most dangerous one. It is what it is. A dribbling, a pass, a change, a 1-2, and then going on target. And of course, pay attention to Lukaku that is really playing in that Roma like basketball. Staying there, back to the back of the goal, back in front of the goal or whatever. You understand what I mean? He's there with the goal in his bag, taking the ball, waiting for his teammate, and then also able to turn himself and to be able and unmarked to go on target. So pay attention to these 4 things. But whatever, like Tuttosport is saying, Chiesa, Dybala, a lot of duels in that game. Pay attention because Inter is there. And that's important because today for the 2 coaches, it's not the way of playing that will be extremely important, but it will be the result. And Mourinho and Max Allegri, but we can even add a coach like Carlo Ancelotti that just extended with Real Madrid until 2026, they are going for the result. The same question has been asked in press conference to the 2 coaches. They are saying, yes, absolutely, we go with the priority first, the result, and then the rest. You can love it, you can dislike it, whatever you want to, but this is the most important thing in football. Even when I was a kid, Max Allegri said, and I was playing with my friends in the street, if I went home and I lost, I was not happy. I wanted to win, and I believe this is the essential thing in football. Otherwise, if you are playing a Serie A, a Champions League or whatever, they would have taken away the points. Winning is 3 points, drawing is 1 point, losing is 0 point. And that's the most important thing in football, like it or not. Anyway, I want to finish with a few flash news. If you're still here, don't forget, if you didn't yet, maximum of like. And I hope you will be there to listen to the few stories that we go. Flash news with Charlie Patino that we spoke about yesterday. Charlie Patino magically on Instagram, he started to follow Juventus. I don't know more about it, but it's really strange that yesterday he decided to follow Juventus out of nowhere. And he's not following Inter, Milan, or whatever Italian team, only Juventus. Then, something that I go totally crazy with. Bonucci will not go to Roma, also kind of confirmed yesterday by Mourinho in press conference. He was speaking about the tifosi that when they want something, they are able to increase even that passion that can help the team. When they don't want something, well, they can be a bit more negative, they can make things collapse, and that's what happened yesterday because they didn't want Bonucci. They put a banner there. Instead of rinse your mouth, they said rinse your balls. Anyway, Bonucci. They don't want Bonucci, and the ownership of Roma, the ones that are taking care of the Mercato, they decided that it was better not to do. I don't believe that Bonucci to Roma would have been great for him, for Roma, for Mourinho, whatever. He's 37 years old. I think that he should have left football a year ago before it was too late anyway, but I don't like it. I absolutely don't like that supporters, tifosi, they start to protest and put themselves against a signing of a player. There are some players that you prefer, that you don't like, that you don't want at your team, but going crazy in protest, and especially the clubs listening to the tifosi, it's totally crazy. For me, according to me, it's out of this world. It doesn't work, because if you want to, you can start protesting against every single player. And you know it, from the moment that it starts to be viral, there are even some people, they don't care about football. They just want the mass effect and they go for it. So pay attention to that one. And then I really wanted to finish with Napoli that yesterday did 0-0, I believe, against Monza. Monza was about to win 1-0. They missed a penalty, otherwise Napoli would have lost. Napoli, the alibis, the excuses of Mazzarri, when we are speaking about Max Allegri, that is never complaining, never taking excuse, said and confirmed by all the players as well that are speaking about him, ex and actual players. Mazzarri is one that is always looking for alibis. He's known for that. And that yesterday, finally, De Laurentiis said, I take accountability. What happens this season is because of me. We had to wait until the 30th of December before hearing the reality. De Laurentiis that is collapsing everything. It's really going in total contradiction with his words after last season in Champions League, where he said, after winning the Scudetto, where he said, we open a cycle of victories of Scudetto, and we want even to win the Champions League. The cycle was really, really short. Anyway, it's like our friends from IFTV, they even asked themselves with a big clickbait title, best Italian team ever. But I don't know. Let me know your opinion about best Italian team ever, what is happening to Napoli, but also to Juve Roma, to Mourinho, to Inter, to the strange coincidences, to the words of Acerbi, to the fear of Inter towards Juventus. Let me know everything. Grazie, forza, Juve.